Hey guys, Big Tuna here. Today we're going to be checking out the new Season 3 Holy Paladin tier sets for 11.2, Ghost of Koresh. We're also going to be checking out the new talent changes that they will be doing within that same patch for Holy Paladin. That will be towards the end of the video. We're going to be diving in on the tier set bonuses first because I think it's actually pretty awesome how they're doing your tier sets next season. What they're doing is that they're actually making it so your tier set bonuses will be different depending on your hero talent tree. So if you're Herald or you're Lightsmith, your tier set bonus will be directed towards that hero talent tree. I think that's pretty cool. Nice big thumbs up for the creativity at Blizzard. But let's go ahead and check out these tier sets. So first we have Holy Paladin Herald of the Sun. 2-set bonus, remember, we're a PvP channel. We're simply going to be looking at this through the eyes of a PvPer and how this would affect PvP if they're good or bad. 2-set for Herald of the Sun. I have no idea what the PvP nerfs are for these percentages. I would assume it'd be halved, but for now, I'm going to be taking these numbers at face value. Dawnlight's healing and damage is increased, and you gain Solar Wrath after Avenging Wrath fades, causing Sun's Avatar's effect to linger for an additional 10 seconds. So the damage and healing is nice. The only way to buff your Dawnlight healing is by taking Morning Star. So I wonder if that would make a comeback. I mean, it's already a good talent, but I find a lot of value in Gleaming Rays, making sure Avenging Wrath so much more potent. But yeah, I wonder if Morningstar will become an even better pick to really get some insane Dawnlight healing with your 2-set. The Linger effect, I actually really do like the idea behind it. Avenging Wrath is so good for Herald of the Sun, but outside of Avenging Wrath, that's when the game becomes really unstable. You don't have the same safety as Lightsmith outside of your wings, so you're really hoping that you're getting good Blessing of On-Cheat procs for the throughput, Dawnlight doing its best, and getting good procs for your rotation to get Holy Shocks back, and really just hoping that your Herald of the Sun talents can really shine through outside of your Avenging Wrath. But yeah, the game becomes really unstable. So the idea of a linger effect outside of your Avenging Wrath to kind of help smooth that out a little bit is kind of interesting. Sun's Avatar lingering for 10 seconds. Sun's Avatar is just piss healing, piss damage. You can never go wrong with it. Lingering for 10 seconds is awesome. I do wonder how it's going to work, though, because Sun's Avatar can only be active when you're in Avenging Wrath and when you have a Dawnlight on that target. But when that Dawnlight expires during your Solar Wrath, then is it gonna stay on that target? Is it gonna change targets if that target is out of range? I have no idea. So definitely need to see how that works in PvP. Solar Wrath now increases the effectiveness of your Holy Power spenders and grants you 2 Dawnlights. Interesting. The only ways to proc Dawnlights myself is through casting Holy Prism or Barrier of Faith. And then, of course, going into my Avenging Wrath. So, the increased healing, I think, is pretty great. Can never go wrong with too much healing. Again, this kind of just helps out with the downtime outside of your wings. So, that's pretty good. And then the Dawnlight applications, can never go wrong with any more Dawnlights on my team. Now, what I do wonder is this bonus, is this tier set going to be working through Awakening Wings as well? And if that's the case, then holy crap, that's pretty insane to just work through Awakening Wings. If it doesn't, unfortunate, but if it does, wow. Awakening Wings is already amazing, but your 4-set and 2-set working through Awakening Wings, maybe at reduced effectiveness, would be absolutely insane. That would really shut down the in-between struggles of Herald of the Sun, Holy Paladin outside of your wings. That would just be insane. Lightsmith. 2-set bonus, Hammer and Anvil's healing is increased, and it also can be activated by Crusader Strike. Awesome. Hammer and Anvil has been very weak throughout this expansion. It was decent when they initially buffed it in Season 1, but then scaling happened, and then it just got left in the dirt. It got buffed a couple times this season, but it just couldn't keep up. It's still very, very low in your breakdown. So now they're just going to make it so that it will proc your Crusader Strike. Why? I know it sounds kind of random, but it's to work through your 4-set. Hammer and Anvil also grants a stack of Masterwork, causing your next Holy Armament to cast one lesser version of itself on a nearby ally for each stack. You can kind of see where they're going with this. They're going to try and actually emphasize the playstyle that they've wanted to emphasize for Lightsmith for the longest time. You know, Lightsmith was meant to be the Avenger Crusader build. And technically, you did run Avenger Crusader, but not for the actual Avenger Crusader effect itself. You simply ran it because it was a 1-minute cooldown. That's it. No one cares about the actual dealing damage and healing off of the Avenger Crusader heal. No one cares about that crap. You know, it's awful. It's horrible. So that's pretty lame. So now they're actually doubling down with the tier set to make it so that you want to play Avenger Crusader and actually utilize its power. Get in there, get some Crusader strikes, get the healing, and then of course build up those Masterwork stacks. You know, this is the playstyle that we want for Lightsmith, and I can't wait to see how this works. I wonder if Holy Paladin's going to be doing even more damage, and now I'm going to be getting in there and getting some Crusader strike action. I don't know. Now, other questions I have about the 4 set is I wonder if your lesser version will proc off of your proc holy armaments. I don't know if this is specific to just your actual cast of your holy armament, or this will also work off of your proc armaments that you get as a Lightsmith. So I wonder how that's going to work out. On top of that, I also wonder if the lesser version of your holy armaments will also benefit off of your holy armament talents, such as your lay on hand CDR, your increased aura on targets with your holy armaments. I wonder if that'll work through your lesser version armaments. No idea. Need to see the PTR for my questions to be answered. But I would naturally assume they would work through all your holy armament talents. It'd be stupid if they didn't work like that. Especially tempered in battle. I really want to know if your lesser version armament, your lesser version sacred weapon, can work through tempered in battle. If so, that'll be pretty interesting. And maybe this might even bring Lightsmith back into the RPG meta. Who knows? But overall, I think these tier sets are unique. They're cool. The Herald of the Sun one definitely has my eye because, you know, I need to know if this works through Awakening Wings. On top of that, Lightsmith, I want to see how the playstyle changes for Lightsmith, if we're actually going to be able to get in there and bring back that Avenger Crusader playstyle that I loved during Legion. I want to see if we can get that back. But now let's go check out the talent changes. So here we have the talent changes. We're going to be going over all 5 of them. Holy Paladin, Pillars of Light. Allies with Beacon of Light or Beacon of Faith are healed every 3 seconds. Cool. I don't know how much that healing is, if it's just going to be piss healing, like Merciful Auras type levels of healing. If so, that's absolutely trash. But if it's actually good healing, hey, you can never go wrong with healing every 3 seconds. The second one definitely has my eye, and I really like what they're doing. Beacon of Light now only transfers healing from direct healing and Light of Dawn. Healing transfer amount increased by 10%. Beacon of Light has been trashed for quite some time, since Dragonflight. I don't know why they ever decided to nerf Beacon of Light. I guess it was to combat what they were doing by giving Holy Paladin healing outside of that Avenging Wrath, and thought, hey, if Holy Paladin's going to get some good healing outside of Avenging Wrath, then we kind of have to tune down Beacon of Faith and Beacon of Light, since that is their main way of doing spread healing. I'm not sure, but it used to do so much more transfer healing. It used to be 30%, 25%, 20%, and now it's at 15%. Pretty unfortunate. But now it's going to be doing even more transfer healing, and also only going to be working off direct healing. So I wonder if I'm shooting myself in the ass by liking a change like this, because I don't actually know how much healing my Beacon of Light is, solely off of indirect healing, like Dawn Lights or certain procs. You know, I hope I'm not shooting myself in the ass by liking a talent change like this. But who knows? A Fusion of Light now reduces the cast time of Holy Light by 30% and makes your next Flash of Light instant cast. Now activates based on chance when casting Holy Shock. Automatically activates when you cast a Holy Shock that crits. Really interesting. A Fusion of Light used to be pretty awesome. It used to... Originally, I guess, when I say originally, I mean like Dragonflight, since that is like, the expansion before. In Dragonflight, Holy Light generated 3 Holy Power. With Diffusion of Light, your Flash of Light mana cost was reduced by like 90%, and yeah, it was pretty interesting. Now, it's been changed pretty drastically throughout the expansions or throughout the seasons. Now it used to increase Holy Light healing by 150%, kind of ridiculous. Now it's going to make Holy Light cast time reduced by 30%. That's kind of cool because Holy Light right now bangs pretty hard. I mean, I can cast a Holy Light right now and I'll get a 7 million crit. So reduced cast time like that is pretty cool. The Flash of Light instant cast will kind of be like your Surge of Light as a priest. Just throwing out instant cast flash heals will feel kind of good. So I really want to know how well Fusion of Light affects our rotation. Divine Favor now reduces the mana cost by 100% and no longer decreases cast times. I find that very unfortunate. OG Divine Favor, increased healing, reduced mana cost, reduced cast time, and the biggest one of all, gave you Aura Mastery. Gave you immunity to interrupts. Holy crap, what an amazing skill. Why did they have to ruin it over the expansions? No idea. Now it's simply just going to reduce the mana cost of that skill by 100%. Very unfortunate, but I'm just going to have to live with it. Truth Prevails and Relentless Inquisitor talent locations have been adjusted. I find that a good change. I find it funny because it's like your first tier of talents is supposed to be the beginner talents, the whatever talents. The second tier of talents is supposed to be like intermediate. Hey, these talents are like kind of good and whatnot. And then the last row of your talent tree should be like, wow, these are like this is the big stuff. There's no way Relentless Inquisitor and Truth Prevails are in that bottom tier. There's no way, you know. They're such minuscule talents that they shouldn't be anywhere near the bottom row. But overall, these are interesting changes. Good, I have no idea, but they're interesting. Now, if we scroll down here, we do have some PvP talent changes. Very few. There's like a million different PvP talents in the game across every class and every spec. And they picked like one for each. Gotta find that funny. But for Holy Paladin, Hallowed Ground will be removed. That's pretty unfortunate. I mean, that was one of the biggest things for Holy Paladin, was keeping our team moving. But even as a Holy Paladin player, yes, you admit that a team not being slowed at all is really, really bad. Like, you literally can't catch up to this team, and not only that, you're also slowed by 50%, which is ridiculous for a healer to have, a 50% slow. That's the standard slow for a DPS. Not every DPS doesn't even have 50% slow. Think about that. So, Hallowed Ground is removed, and that makes me a little bit sad, but it'll hopefully be healthier for the game. But yeah, those are all the changes that are coming within 11.2 Ghost of Koresh. I'm pretty excited for everything that's coming. It looks amazing, so can't wait to try out those tier sets on the PTR, give my feedback, and just do my part as a PvPer in this lovely, lovely PvP community. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and of course if you did, leave a like button down below, chuck subscribe my way, and of course if you really did like the video, you can always click the link in the description, as it does take you to a playlist of all my healer content.